Work it, take a lot to be a dog. Oh boy!
Welcome to episode 6 of the Doghouse Podcast. I'm your host, Roosevelt Jones. The Butler Bulldogs just fell short with a last-second heat from Finley Bizjack against SMU. It was a tough finish to the game. The Butler tried to crawl their way back, tried to make a good comeback, but gave up a last-second offensive rebound at the end, and SMU was able to get a layup to go up, and the game ended right there. So, going to go over my thoughts of what I saw throughout the game, offensively and defensively, and just ways on how I think that we can improve as a team on both sides of the floor. First off, I want to start off by saying individual play-wise, we had a couple guys that played really well. Michael Ajayi had another double-double. He's a really good rebounding machine. He goes and gets the ball every single time. So it's good having a guy like that can rebound and be able to push the ball out in transition. So that's always going to be helpful for us on that. Finley Bizjack played really good. Started out the game shooting lights out. I think he started off hitting 3 threes to start the game off. Obviously, he's from around that area, so he was hyped up to play. So glad that he really showed up. Also, he had another crazy behind the head pass where you don't think he sees the offensive player's teammate, but put the pass on the money. Second time doing that. The first time I saw him doing that, I think that was against IU Indy. It was like, yeah, that might be kind of luck. But then he does it again. Kind of the same way in crunch time while he's making that play, which is wild. It's on the money, and his teammates are doing a good job of knocking those shots down when he makes those passes. So he's probably like one of those guys in practices, like you work on some silly stuff where it's behind the back passes, half court shots, like things that you do when you're just bored and you just kind of naturally get good at. And he decided to put that in game time. And it was a really good pass on the money. He was able to knock down the shot. Even Kevin Durant, he was watching the game. He tweeted out about it like, hey, Bizjack, hey, boy, that was a good pass. Like, Kevin Durant even knew that. So I don't know if the pass made it to SportsCenter or not. But if Kevin Durant is tweeting about it, it definitely should have made SportsCenter. So great pass on that. So good job with Bizjack. Hopefully we can keep seeing some more of that stuff and keep making plays happen on that. Also, I think Jalen Jackson, he's doing a good job of running the point for us. So he's the one controlling the offense whenever we need to get in our sets and different type of things when teams are pressing us. When teams are picking full court, he's the one that's handling the basketball. I would just say with him and Ajayi, with the basketball in their hands so much, they're going to have to bring down their turnovers. So they did a great job with assists. Jalen Jackson had 6 assists. Ajayi had 4. But then combined, they both had 9 turnovers. 9 of them 17 turnovers. So I know when you have the basketball in your hand as much as they do, they will lead to turnovers, but I think some of the turnovers was kind of careless passes or maybe Ajayi just dribbling too deep into the paint where maybe he can kick out to a teammate when they're crashing down his drives. And Jalen just has to be more cautious with his passes. I noticed he throws a couple lob passes here and there that sometimes defenders, they're going to be able to get those passes. So that's just a few things that we have to clean up on that. And Evan Haywood, he came off the bench. He was ready to go. I wasn't sure how much he was going to play this year, but he's waited. He's waited his time. He put the work in, and when his name was called, he was ready to go. He shot 3 of 7 from threes, hit some big time threes throughout the game. Um, and I think that the next step in his game is being a high level defender so that he's able to stay on the floor when the team needs him. I think if he can become a guy where he can be a 3-and-D guy where he's knocking down threes, and also on the other end, being able to guard the fast guards, being able to guard some of the top players, that's going to really elevate his game even more because he's been putting in the work. He's waited his turn. He hasn't complained. And when he's been out there, he's been showing flashes of the type of player that he can be. Diesel Jones, he was in foul trouble throughout the game, so it was kind of a rough game for him. He's playing in and subbing out, so I felt like he didn't really get in the rhythm of how he wanted to play throughout the game, so I felt like it was a tough one for him. Johan played really good. Obviously, he played at SMU this past season, so he came out ready to play, ran in transition. He was finishing strong. He was finishing strong in the paint when they gave him passes. So I feel like we need to be able to keep using our size. Even though we shot lights out, we hit 13 threes, 29 of our 63 shots were from three, and 13 of our 29 makes were from three. So we shot the ball very well. Like that's not the problem. We got to be able to put a dominant presence in the paint, being able to get guys in foul trouble, being able to get easy looks at the basket, easy layups, because when you come down to crunch time, you don't want that. You don't want to have to rely on being able to make a three or being able to make tough threes and make a comeback. Like you want to be able to get easy buckets. You want to be able to finish at the basket as the season keeps going on. But keep shooting the way that we're doing. I feel like the offense is going really well. We're pushing the ball in transition. I love the way we're pushing the ball in transition. We're scoring the ball at a high rate. I think right now we're averaging about 93, 94 points per game. So we are putting points at the basket. So keep doing what we're doing on the offensive end as the season keeps going on. Like I said, keep add some paint presence, bigs, run the floor, keep running the floor. You guys are fast. Get down the floor, guards, get our big man the ball. Ajayi, keep attacking, finishing strong. Bizjack and Jalen, you guys play inside out, figure out your game, take what the defense gives you on that end, and just keep doing those type of stuff. And it's going to be interesting as the season keeps going. If Butler is going to keep playing a lot of the guys. I think against SMU, we played about 10, 11 guys, but they didn't get as many minutes as they were getting the other games when they were getting in. So I think as the season keeps going on, the rotation is probably going to get a little shorter just because you kind of find out what guys' strengths and weaknesses are. And then also we have a lot of freshmen that have been subbing in, and sometimes the pace of the game is different than when you came from high school. So I know when I was a freshman and I went out there on the court, and the first time I stepped on the court, we went up a couple times and I was out of breath. I almost needed a sub. I was not used to this pace of how this game was going. So I kind of had to learn that, hey, this is the pace that we're going to get at. I got to get in shape for this. I got to be ready to go. I got to figure out. I got to watch film of what I'm doing offensively, what I'm doing defensively. How can I help the team out? Like, what do I need to do to be able to help this team out? And I think we got a lot of freshmen right now. They're trying to figure those roles out. You got Stink, you got Jackson Keith, you got McCaffrey. Like, you got those guys right now. They're trying to figure out what their role is going to be when they're on court. So once they figure that out, they're going to be really good. Right now, I think defensively is going to be the biggest things for them. If they're able to go out and guard their defenders, that's really going to be key. Obviously, McCaffrey, he's a guy that they want to be a stretch five and pick and pop against slow bigs. But on the other end, he's going to be able to have to guard whether he's hedging the ball screen or if they're switching the ball screen with him, he's going to be having to guard. So they're going to have to figure that out. Like I said, they have to keep watching film and see how they want to go about that. But going on the defensive side, it was something I talked about earlier in the season. I can't remember if it was against IU Indy or the game before that against USI when I was talking about Butler had to figure out what they were doing on their ball screen defense. And I think SMU kind of exposed that against us when Boopy was putting us in ball screen action. He was basically able to do whatever he wanted. If he wanted to get to the basket, he was able to get to the basket. If he wanted to make that pass to the big man for the layup, he was able to do that. Also, if we switched it and he went ISO, he was able to get a layup. If we switched it and went ISO, they got a little guy on their big, and the shot goes up. SMU was getting the rebounds. So we are going to have to clean up what we're doing on our ball screen defense. I plan to show on Twitter, on X today or tomorrow, kind of the ball screen reads and what I think should happen in the actions just to make us a little bit better on the defensive end. And then obviously we have to rebound. If you look at the stat sheet, it doesn't look like we lost the rebounding battle. It was 34-34. We got 16 offensive rebounds. They got 13 offensive rebounds. But I felt like the rebounds where they got was the crunch time rebounds where whoever get this rebound, the game may sway one way or another. And I felt like whenever that happened, SMU got it every single time. Like one of the biggest keys to winning games is always 50-50 basketballs. Who's going to get those basketballs? When the ball goes up in the air, who's going to get it? When the ball goes onto the floor, who's going to be the first one to dive for the basketball? Like those are what win games in crunch time. I felt like we were ready at the beginning of the game in the first half. We were the first ones diving on the floor for the basketball. We were the ones going to get the offensive rebounds for extra putbacks. We were the ones getting loose balls when it's up in the air. Like we were the one factoring the game, making the game tough, making the game gritty for us to be able to get to win. But I think SMU, they came out in that second half ready to go, and we got punched in the mouth. We wasn't ready for that. But then towards the end of the game, we started making a comeback, started playing the right way, started making the right passes, started doing all of those things. But it was kind of too little too late. We had a shot to win, obviously. The shot didn't go in. But all in all, I think it was a good learning lesson. Like, I don't want to be cliche, like there's good losses, but I feel like Butler can learn a lot from that game as far as who are the guys that we're going to put on the floor in crunch time. Are we still going to go with the deep lineups? Are we going to keep playing a lot of the freshmen? How are we going to figure out our ball screen defensive coverages? Are we going to switch it? Are we going to hard hedge the ball screens? Are we going to trap the screens? Like, have to figure out how we want to do that. And then going to rebound the basketball. Have to rebound the basketball. And then getting into the paint and getting easy looks on that offensive end. Because I think the paint points from last game was 62 to 30. It don't matter how good we shoot the basketball. If you lose the paint battle 62 to 30, you're not going to win any games. I don't care who you're playing. I don't care how good we're shooting for three. You're not going to be able to win games. And so SMU, they imposed their will on us. They were able to get whatever they want. So we have to take that personally. And for the next game against South Carolina, we have to come out and be ready to go, because obviously South Carolina, they're going to see the film. They're going to see how we were struggling in the ball screen actions. They're going to see how we were struggling rebounding the basketball. And that's what they're going to be telling their guys. Hey, go crash the glass, attack them in the ball screen reads, win the 50-50 battle, and that's how you're going to come away with the win. So, like I said, we're going to have to take that personal. You're going to have to take your matchup personal, not letting your guy beat you off the ball screen, fighting through screens so the bigs don't have to help as much. Once the shot goes up, we have to box out and be able to get the rebound. Then once we get the rebound, we're pushing it in transition. We're really good in transition. Bigs, keep running the floor, get easy layups. Guards, be ready to knock down threes. And then if we don't get it in transition, once we get into our half-court offense, don't look to always settle. Look to get to the basket, look to get some easy ones, look to get to the free throw line, and then we have to finish our free throws. 14 to 23 from the free throw line. That's 60%. Definitely have to clean that up. SMU was 73%. So I think that was a game that we gave away to them. I think we were the better team, and it showed to start the game. But SMU just had a little bit more grit SMU just had a little bit more grit to close out the game against us. So we just have to be ready to play for the full 40 minutes and be able to do whatever we want to do to get a win. Have to win the 50-50 battles. Have to win the rebounding battle. Have to be strong in the paint. Have to limit our turnovers. 17 turnovers. But we had 24 assists. So the passing is great. Just have to clean up the turnovers. And the good thing is, it's all things that can be fixed. It's not like we're looking out there like, oh, man, I don't know how we're going to do this. I don't know who we're going to put out on the floor. I don't know how we're going to get rebounds. Like, we have the guys that are capable to do what we need to do to get wins. So I think if we keep improving on those things, we're going to have a really good winning record in the non-conference and being able to make some noise in the Big East. I love this team that we have right now. Guys are playing gritty. Guys are playing the right way. But now it's just cleaning up some little things. Obviously, we have so many new guys, 10, 11 new guys. They're all learning how to play together for the first time. We got 4 games in right now. So everybody's still learning each other. The coaching staff is still learning. So we're going to get better. Butler teams always get better as the seasons keep going on. And once we start piling those wins together and have a run and have a good Big East conference record, making some noise, and get a shot to play in the NCAA tournament. Because we know once Butler gets in the NCAA tournament, we will always make noise. On the next podcast, I will be covering our matchups against South Carolina and Virginia as we go out for the tournament. I will also be on my Twitter X posting videos about our ball screen defense, the 50-50 battles, just little detailed things that I've seen, how to clean that up, and also ways that we can attack South Carolina for the next game, kind of like a scouting report. So I'll be doing that online and also on the podcast. So thank you for tuning in. Always like, subscribe, follow the Big East Energy Network, Doghouse Podcast.
Work it, take a lot to be a dog.